Hello YouTube, it's Bebop07 here, and welcome back to Niche and the Tiger Tribe. Now in the last episode, we actually had quite a lot happen. Of course, we had this lovely little lady named Taki, whose coloring is absolutely gorgeous. I love that orange, and oh my goodness, she's so cute. She's so cute. I just keep wanting to, she makes me think of a clementine. Every single time I look at her, she's lovely, lovely, lovely. And she isn't too unhealthy. She's got a couple of bad things, but overall she's fairly good health-wise. And I think, yeah, she has a medium tail too. So she has how much cold resistance? Where is that? Where would that be? I don't know if it shows yet. Why you no show me? I guess if we go here, actually, will that show me the proper resistance to stuff? Here we go. She has 2 cold resistance. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. But yes, so there's Taki. But Snapdragon actually kind of wandered away from where the rest of the tribe was because she was a little bit heartbroken and hurt because her brothers, who also were heartbroken and hurt, decided not to wait for her and went off on their own adventure. And finding that out and finding out that they kind of left her behind, she felt very, very hurt by that because she had considered them all to be very close. And of course she didn't mean to make them feel left behind. It was just a bunch of misunderstandings. But Snapdragon decided to go off on her own to kind of clear her head and take a deep breath and just enjoy some solitude when she ran into an old acquaintance, an old friend who is actually part of the royal family. Now, Jujubi here wandered off with a kind of a wandering nicheling named Kunuvan, who actually she invited into the tribe as well, and I believe he helped fight off a ballerina a couple of episodes ago, and they had a family together because she fell for his goofy, light-hearted ways, and it's just his kind heart. But unfortunately, he died much, much earlier than she did because he was sick. He had a sickness. And so during some of his last days, they decided to have a family together. And she was slowly clearing away this little bit of territory for herself and her family when Snapdragon kind of wandered along into it. And Jujubi, recognizing this very, very bright red nicheling who kind of looks, look-wise, I mean, red color-wise, well, she was the brightest, you know? She is the brightest red though, wow. I mean, looking at these guys and looking at her, she's like, whoa, blinding. But so after finding these guys, Snapdragon has kind of taken refuge, and she's kind of hanging out here. She's kind of hanging out here with these guys. And oh my goodness, it's already 3 minutes. Oh, whoopsie doodles, I took so long. But Misha and his mate, Sundrop, actually had a daughter named Soen, and Sundrop is very antsy and wants to do some more hunting, so I don't know how long she's gonna stick around here. I think she kind of wishes that Mariko was a little bit younger so that she'd kind of have almost a nanny, maybe, somebody who would look after her baby so she could go hunting. But she's not sure. She's not sure. She does love Soen. She just hasn't gotten to hunt as often. And since she's actually not that strong, it's a little bit harder for her to. Doesn't mean that she doesn't enjoy it though. But perhaps she could join her mate in getting rid of this crabbit right there. Maybe if we scoot Soen over here? Yeah, I think that would work. But so they're having a bit of a family. They might breed again to have another baby. But let's see. Mianana and actually Elemu and Getachu cleared away the grass hiding this healing fruit, luckily for us, and they're gonna come back boasting of their glory and of their success, and just kind of letting their family know. And now that Barimi can see her sons again, she's feeling a lot less panicky. She and Date have been hanging out together, and Date's been very supportive, and they're both very worried about their ridiculous children, and Date kind of feels like she's kind of like their aunt, even though in a way she's their cousin. I think she's like their cousin, technically. That's so weird, because they're like the same age, these two. But, so those two are feeling a lot of relief at seeing them again, and Jomo and Lynn are off over here going on their own adventure to explore this side of the island. But alright, now that we've done our brief review, we're gonna go ahead and, pass the turn, and I think I'll stick over here out of curiosity, because, now that these two are here, Snapdragon's kind of committed herself to protecting these guys, to helping out and kind of hanging out over here. Well, let's go ahead and pass the turn. Oh my goodness. Somebody passed away. Who did what? Ah, are you friendly? Oh, you're friendly. Hi. Somebody passed away. Who passed? Oh, right. I'm so sorry, Mariko. I remembered and at the same time didn't. But let's go ahead, and I wonder if perhaps Agia and this friendly Barina are kind of making eyes at each other, and perhaps they'll try for a baby. And we're successful! Yes! But I do think that she finds this handsome ding-dong, aka Cutie Pie. If you guys don't remember, we asked for a special name for him, and the random random generator picked Cutie Pie. So his name is Cutie Pie, and I find that ridiculously adorable. That's just hilarious. But I think they're going to get to know each other, and she's going to stay by this very, very handsome Barina. But now that that's done, we're going to go ahead and send Cassian back here, who is contentedly gathering from this tree along with his friend Mianana. So these guys are very close. They both were very close to Junkrat, and I've gotten some comments with you guys wanting Mianana to breed, and I actually wouldn't mind that. It just depends on if we can find her someone, but somebody did suggest Getachu, so maybe there'll be a bit of a romance, and I think that kind of makes sense, because he found the healing fruit, you know what I mean? But Jomo's gonna go ahead, grab that bunny. These guys are working together, and I think that Lynn's just gonna hop all the way over here along with Jomo, and I don't know if there's like, maybe you could sit here. Okay, they're just kind of traveling and exploring this side together, and Inky definitely wants to go on an adventure. She feels very, very, very lively, and I think she's gonna even try to go after this bunny. And she actually succeeded! How awesome! And Danon's gonna go ahead and gather up that bunny meat for her. I think he's got a bit of a crush on her. He's kind of hanging around, and he thinks she's very, very pretty. He really likes how her patterns look. Whereas Dakota is messing around and playing, and oh look, there's a bunny! And Ramona, you know what? I think she's going to teach him how to hunt. If he insists on running off and hunting, then she's going to teach him how to do it. So she's going to let Dakota be the one to grab this bun, and she'll grab the bun meat. She's going to sit a little closer and discuss with him what might be possibly improved. But I don't think what they realize is that Ramona is actually about to pass away to join Ink, her mate, up with the other nichelings, and it's gonna be very sad, but at the very least they had a wonderful bonding moment, and in her last moment she taught her son Dakota some very important moments, and wonderful bonding moment. It's so sad. I love you guys. Oh my goodness, Ramona, you're such a lovely little carrot. I love her. And the bear, Cutie Pie, you scared me for a second. I forgot that you were the friendly Barina. But we're actually going to work with these guys too. We're going to send someone here because her mother Sundrop is determined to do some fighting. Oh, fudgy wudgy. Well, that guy's not moving. Why don't you go ahead and try to collect. Misha, I think maybe you should call Sundrop back. She still wants to fight. Maybe you guys should switch places. But she's still in a fighting mood, and these guys over here, I think, yeah, Date's kind of, she's happy to stay where she is now that she knows the boys are safe. Whereas Rarimi, I think Rarimi's gonna hop up here briefly, just to open up this area and to see them better, and she's gonna glimpse the healing fruit. And her boys are gonna very proudly come forward and come closer to her to kind of to talk about their successful adventure. And I think Getachu's gonna scoot a little closer to where Date is. And these guys are all heading home. They're all going on their big adventure. And Rarimi is coming back to make sure that her boys are okay and maybe chide them a little bit for being so ridiculous and going off on their own and scaring her and Date. But they're adventurous young souls. They need to go out and explore and, you know, get that energy out. But they did find us a healing fruit, and I think that's gonna grow some reputation for them. Word's gonna get around about it, and Mianana is going to hear about it. She actually does have a bit of life lost, so I wonder if perhaps she could go over and nom that fruit and set up over here. That would be very interesting, because if she did, she'd have a few more days left. She'd get a couple extra days, and perhaps she and Getachu could start a family. Let's actually double check that they'd be able to. H and F, B and I. The only thing is, Mianana does have a lot of really bad genetics. So if we're gonna do that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna encourage good eyesight. And I don't know if we're able to encourage big body yet. Yeah, we can't. And we do have a couple of big body nicheling babies, so there's still a chance of us getting it, but having more around wouldn't be a bad idea. And honestly, having some stinky tail around for whenever we finally get to the jungle, definitely not a bad idea to hold on to. It would be very nice to try and keep that around too. So I think perhaps Mianana and Getachu will have some kiddos together. I'm not quite sure what else to put into her thing. She does have low fertility, so you know what? I think I'll encourage that because everything else seems to be pretty good. And hemophilia does stink, but I do believe that if I look at... Oh dear, you've got hemophilia? Okay, on second thought, we are going to encourage normal blood clotting because I will not risk that. I'm sorry. If it had only just been in her recessives, I wouldn't have minded, but it is... He has got it full blown, so we're not going to let that happen. And I think with him, I don't want to encourage the tails because I want to get that stinky tail. And it might not be a bad idea to encourage poison fangs. You know what? I want some more poison fangs because we could be getting a lot of food if we had poison fangs. But let's go ahead and have these guys over here have their turns. I actually really like this group right here. But I think that Jujubi is going to scoot to the side a little bit, gather up these berries, and she's staying very close to her kids, and Gryne is trying to scoot off and be an adventurous little kiddo. And Snapdragon, because of that, is probably going to run after him. But let's move Taki inward a little bit, and we'll send Jujubi in again. But Snapdragon is keeping a very wary eye on this little ding-dong here while clearing away more of the territory so she can keep an eye out for predators. But I think she might scold Gryne a little bit for trying to run off. It's like, you gotta be careful. You've got, you're one of the strongest members of this family. If you're the older sibling, if you're gonna run off like that, who's gonna protect your little sister? What if there's predators out there? You haven't trained enough. So Snapdragon's kind of mildly scolding him a little bit and just kind of keeping an eye, whereas Jujubi is a little more relaxed about it, but she does recognize that Gryne going off on his own is not the best thing for him to do. But you know what? I think to kind of calm matters, I think she's going to tell a story. And you guys know how long it's been since anyone in the Zodiac Tribes has actually told a story. But Jujubi has a story for her son, for Snapdragon, and for her daughter Taki. One that she's been musing over, that's popped up into her memory. And so she'll sit them down, she'll calm them down, and it's like, how about I tell you a story? One that will teach you about bravery and protecting and defending your family members. So, eager to hear this story, these guys are going to sit down, and Jujubi begins her wonderful tale of Stone, the warrior, the predator, and his nest. So, when Stone was just a mere mortal nicheling before he had gone up to the status of warrior deity, a deity that a lot of nichelings in this tribe greatly respect for his strength and his fortitude. But he had a very lovely mate, and they were traveling. They were on this big adventure. He was very brave. He had a lot of troubles in his childhood where predators, Barinas, evil, mean Barinas, were constantly chasing his family. And in order to go to new lands and find, I guess you could say, greener pastures, safer places, they traveled across the oceans. And they rested on this tiny little island. He and multiple others in his group, they rested, and his mate was ready to have their baby. So as they waited there for a couple of turns, a couple of days just to relax, build up some more food, his mate had their daughter, a very, very lovely and important nicheling named Catalina Ironwood. Now this nicheling had the fabled armored body, one that isn't seen very often among nichelings now, although coincidentally Ink had armored body. And she was absolutely gorgeous, and Stone was totally enthralled by this adorable little child of his, and he loved her and his mate so much. But the day after her birth, a tall, towering, and terrifying Barina showed itself right over his mate and his baby's nest, threatening and attacking. So Stone, doing what he knew was best, he threw himself in front of his mate and his baby and fought ferociously to protect his child. And his mate was nothing to sneeze at either. His mate was also a very brave warrior who stood in front of her child and protected and fought the Barina off. And after a hard, long battle, the Barina finally was dead. And Stone was very much respected by his tribe and loved very, very much by his daughter and his mate for his bravery. And that son is what I hope you will take with you. You too, Taki. Because this strength and bravery is very important to have, very important to believe in and keep with you. Reckless foolishness, however, isn't something that I want my children to carry on with them. And so I think with that little story there, Gryne's kind of eagerness to run off and almost leave his family in order to explore, I think that might have, yeah, that was definitely a little bit of a scold right there. A little bit of bravery. Bravery is one thing, recklessness is another. But I think she told the story well. I think that was a nice little story to hear. It has been a while since we've heard about Stone, since we've had any stories concerning our deities, and I think Gryne is going to think better about his actions before he runs off and causes some chaos, unlike some other nichelings. Cough, cough. Cough, 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 cough. You guys right here. Yeah, that's right. And allow me to scoot over again. Cough, 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 cough. But, yes, so I just think that was a very much needed story. Yeah, thank you, Jujubi. It's kind of nice to reflect on those older tales, and I do miss them. I'm kind of surprised that I still remember, his daughter's name, honestly. But, it's a very nice name. It is a very strong name, too. But, yeah, alright. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna pass the turn, and we're gonna see what happens with this Crabbit. And perhaps Asia can have her baby soon. And I honestly didn't expect her to quite fall in love with this Barina so fast, but she did. So I think we're gonna go ahead and encourage, let's encourage some better paws. And since she's mating with a Barina, why not encourage Barina Claw? And hopefully to get rid of the no paw. And I think something else I want to do is I really want to keep that armored body, and I would love if armored body came into play again. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in her mutation menu, and I know we could probably fight against short-sighted eyes, but I really would like to keep armored bodied with us, and I know we could put it in at any time, but I think it'd be very interesting to bring it into her family tree. But alright, let's go ahead, let's zoom in and see what happens with this crabbit. Okay. Okay. Oh, it died. Well, what do you know? What do you know? Oh, hey, there's something you can dig up over here. And your daughter is also full grown. I wonder if there's a bunny. Family hunting trips. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Sundrop, go over here. Take your family on a hunting trip. You guys gotta go hunting. And I think Sundrop would be overjoyed at the idea of her and her daughter going hunting together. Whereas Misha is kind of like, but we probably should gather these berries. And Sundrop's very, very feisty, so I think she would kind of turn her nose up at that a little bit. But she does respect her mate, so I think she'll come back and she'll bring her daughter back, and it's like, we'll go hunting in a bit. Let me just gather these berries. And she's gonna try to help her mate Misha fumble his way around the berries, but he has not been lucky. And I think perhaps in the next turn they'll go ahead and breed to have one more child together. Let's look around and see. We have another bunny! So you guys, turns out that there's a decent amount of bunnies out this way. So we're gonna let Jomo go ahead and get that bunny, and Lynn will collect it up. Now let's send her up this way. She is kind of cold though, so I wonder if, since these guys might be going back out on an adventure, then again, Ink kind of wants to. Oh, Ramona, you poor dear. Oh, Dakota, I'm so sorry. I don't think he expected her to pass away like that, but I think out of respect, he's going to go ahead and gather up her berries before coming up to where his sister and his friend Danon are. And his sister is actually going to gather up those berries as well. Let's see, there's a lot of darkness patches though. I wonder if Danon's going to try to dig up some roots to try and impress Inky. But let's see, she might practice her claw skills, see if she can't knock that down. But I think we're going to go ahead and send Mianana up this way, because Getachew, hearing that she has some days lost, might want to help take her to a place where she can get healed. And on the way, he's going to, I think his heart might melt a little bit. You know, he might totally and completely fall in love with her because she's gorgeous and I love her, and I would like her to have a kiddo. And also because she is quite beautiful. She is ridiculously fluffy. And I think Getachew would find that very unique and very attractive, especially with her fluffy sneaky tail. But I do believe that Elimu, and I think that if I'm correct, that means knowledge. I think looking at these two over here and seeing how Lynn is kind of getting colder there, I think he would bid his mother and his technical cousin, I'm just going to call her aunt, and his aunt adieu, and come over here to help them out, gather this up for more nesting material, although honestly you don't need it. Because look at how much nesting material this is, you guys. This is ridiculous! We have almost 500. So you know what, let's go ahead and focus on gathering up some food. And I think Rarimi feels a little more comfortable now with knowing what her kids are doing, knowing that they're okay. And so she and Date are going to go ahead and go off together to work on gathering some food. And Cassian is left to run the tree on his little lonesome, but it looks like friendly Barina has gone off a little bit, and Asia really wants to follow, but I think we'll scoot her over here and she'll sit down and nest. Aww, he got her some bunny meat. Aw, cutie pie, how sweet of you. I think that's just going to endear him to her even more. These two have a very, very sweet and tender little relationship going, and I think he's very excited. Oh, I wonder if he got it because he wants to make sure that she has enough to eat because she's gonna have his baby. Oh, that's so cute. That is so cute. But okay, I think we have you guys to move around, and now that Jujubi has told that very wise story, I think that Gryne, after gaining that knowledge, is going to help collect food, because he's realizing that this tribe is not a very his tribe, his mini tribe right here, this little section of the tiger tribe is very small, but overall we definitely need to gather more food. So Mama Jujubi is clearing out nest, and I think Snapdragon is going to clear out more of this territory and gather more food over here. After seeing that there's some fish in the river, she's going to grab that up and share it with everyone over here. I think that's actually the first time any of them over in this little side of the island has had any fish. So it's going to be a very fun experience. But alright you guys, I think that'll be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I want to thank you all for watching. But I gotta be popping on out of here, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye!